Alright, what's up, guys? So, it is already February. Last time I recorded was in January, so it's already February, already in month number 2. And we're already halfway done with month number 2, so it tells you how fast this year is going. But I wanted to do episode 3 of Paranormal Adventures. So this is the final part of my significant other's house. So this part is going to be 3 of her most recent paranormal experiences in the house. So she still lives in the house now that she's done with school, but she's still focusing on cheerleading and teaching it and all that stuff, and running and all that stuff. But she kind of goes half and half. She kind of goes back to her parents' house, which is the house I'm talking about, or the house with all her best friends, because she's the only one that's graduated just yet. I'm graduating this year in December because I'm going for my master's in something, and then everybody else is graduating in, I think, May or June, somewhere around there. But yeah, but most of my friends are all doing the same field. I mean, if I don't include myself, there's 12 people, and 8 of them are all in cheerleading, and they all plan on doing the same thing in the very same place, so it's kind of like they're never fully leaving. And then the other 4 are all doing a business together, so everybody's kind of working together. We all plan on moving around the same place, because we all have basically everything in common. Obviously, jobs are a little bit different. I plan on doing business with the 4 people, with Matt, Mike, Jennifer, and Sarah. We all plan on doing something together because we all went to school for the same thing, so we all wanted to build a business with all of our minds together. And obviously I have YouTube, social media, buy and resell and all that stuff, and going to the casino. And then everybody else is cheerleading. So, but we all plan on sticking together and all that stuff, create this big bond. But so the third to most recent experience actually happened on FaceTime, and I already talked about this paranormal experience once. So it was, I want to say, 6 months ago, and we were just FaceTiming, my significant other and I, and all of a sudden she hears this knocking. At first I heard it, but it wasn't as loud as her because she was in the very room that she was hearing it from. But then I started hearing it because it started to get louder and louder. And at first it started by the wall, which could be anything. Could be, unfortunately, an animal in there, or floorboards, I don't know. But then, around 10 minutes later, hear it again, and now it's right at the door. It's right at the door. So, she gets the courage, I don't know how, because I would have not done this. She opens the door, and nobody's there. She turns, and in her peripheral vision she sees somebody move, but I hear a knock. So she goes towards the sound. Once again, stupid idea, but yeah, you want to make sure that someone's not in your house. So she goes, and she sees the thing right in front of her. There's another knock behind her, and she just goes into her room, talks to me until she sleeps. And that kind of went on for, I want to say, 3 or 4 times a month, so around once a week, for around 2 months. And then it just completely stopped. The second most recent experience also happened on FaceTime, but it was off camera. As soon as it happened, it was as soon as she clicked end to the FaceTime. And I'll probably talk about this experience, but usually I like to talk about experiences that happen to multiple people, not just one person now that we're, on season 3 now. I want to start talking about different things. So we were FaceTiming. We were just about to go to bed. So I clicked off, she clicked off, and all that stuff. We said love you, good night, all that stuff. And as soon as she turned it off, not even 5-10 seconds after, she heard this whisper in her ear. And the way she told me it, she said it was exactly like what happened to me when I was sitting down at the table. I was watching something. I don't know what I was watching. And all of a sudden I heard somebody in my right ear whisper something. And I don't know what that was, but it freaked me out. And that's what happened to her. But she was in her bed. So she looked everywhere. She looked under the bed, and she couldn't find whatever the hell it was. But that was that. The most recent experience happened this time on FaceTime. Because I feel like her house and a lot of my friends' houses, a lot of the spirits are not malevolent at all. They don't want to hurt anybody. They just want to be known. What other better way to do it when there's multiple people? So we were all sitting down, and all of a sudden, basically she has her room, and then across the way was her brother's room, but he moved downstairs, just because I guess there's like a better room. I don't know why, but they basically use that now. If like their grandparents come over, they can use that room, because there's 4 rooms in total. And so it's right across from her room. So one night she was on FaceTime. Everybody was on FaceTime. And all of a sudden, her room is open, but the other room is partially open. And all of a sudden, it closes. And she's like, okay, that's weird. And I said, is like your grandparents over or something like that? And she said no. I said, okay. So she takes the phone with her so that we can all see, because we all believe in ghosts 100%, but we try to debunk it first, or into regular people's society, I guess. They'll think that we're weird. So we try to debunk it first. And so she goes to the door. She's trying to figure out if there's any wind. So I say, close the other door and see if that will do anything. Doesn't move at all. Do some other things. None of the windows are open because it's winter time. And all of a sudden, her other door behind her slams shut. Now, her parents are asleep. Dead asleep. Heaviest sleepers you will ever meet. And so, slam shut, she opens the door, and she says, weird thing, we never have that door open because we're not using it. We always go in to make sure everything is smelling good and all that stuff, but we don't use that room unless if our grandparents are coming over or someone else is coming over. So, like friends or me or something like that, but I obviously sleep in her bed with her. So she says that was weird, and I was like, huh. So the door never does that, and she says no. And then she hears these weird, like, I don't know what the hell it was, but it sounded like someone was knocking on the floor. So that was weird, and then the door slowly closed again. She said, okay, that's it. And it happened, I want to say, 6 to 7 times in a week, and then it slowly only began to once a week, once a month, and that was around, that first happened around 2 months ago, and it still happens, but it hasn't happened in probably a few weeks, yeah. So that is it for this house. The next house I'm going to talk about is basically all of my friends, because it's basically you have my significant other, Jamie, Marie, and Carly. They all live in the same house because, they go, it's close to the school. It's only like 5, maybe 10 minutes away from it's in walking distance. 5-10 minutes of walking to get to the campus. And so I think I'm going to talk about that. That may be 3 to 4 parts. And then the last part will probably be, I want to say, probably all my other friends' houses. Then I'll go individual for each house. Because all my friends, except Matt and Mike, their houses weren't ever really haunted. Jennifer and Sarah's house was definitely haunted. Before they all just moved in together. Because basically Matt and Mike, they basically moved in with them because it was right next to the campus. Same with my other friends. And they just decided, hey, let's just move in together, make it easier. So, yeah. So that is it. So make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.